For the past year, I've been testing 7 different folding fat tire e-bikes. These bikes promise power, convenience, portability, no bike rack needed. The main question in this video I'm going to answer is which of these bikes stands out. Now, this isn't going to be going through every nook and cranny and every single detail that you can get on a spec sheet or whatever. This is my impression of the bike after real life use cases, okay? All of these are epic, ruck around, have fun kinds of bikes, and I'm gonna talk about what actually matters after miles of riding. Before we get into the differences, what are the things that these all have in common? They all have a folding frame. They all have rear hub motors with a throttle and pedal assist. They all have fat tires or fat-ish tires. They all have roughly similar speeds and battery life. You might get a little more here and a little bit more there. There is some maybe meaningful difference in torque, which just, I don't know, as a red-blooded American man, you feel the difference. Now, the fact that these all collapse is a really big deal. No bike rack necessary. You've got the ability to throw it into a closet, maybe in your house if you don't have a lot of storage. And you've got a full-size bike like this one here from Mod, which has great sort of ergonomics on it. And these fat tires here, the fat tires make for an even softer ride. Even if you don't have suspension on the tail end, it also can be good in softer terrain. Now, the bike that started this all for me actually doesn't fold. This is from Fiido. I will link to it below. It has this great beefy front light and cargo thing. And I loved using this fat tire, big old bike with my daughter on the back. It doesn't fold though. Now, there are 4 differences between these bikes that actually matter. The first one is build quality and feel. Some of these feel premium, better brake levers, better grips, better buttons. Others feel cheap, but functional. Why does this matter? They function, they work great. What matters most about this is after a year of riding, and it starts to get a little dumpy. It's still working and super functional, but it's a little dumpy and you don't feel quite the same attachment and connection to the thing. These things can become really like companions. Secondly, torque and acceleration. Some of these bikes really jump when you hit the throttle, while others, like it's more of a gradual thing. Some of them you can adjust that. Some you can't at all. I really like it with some torque. I'm telling you right now, dude, you're gonna like it with a little torquey. Like, it feels good. Number 3, weight and portability. They're all, 55 to 60 pounds. They all fold, but some, like this one from HeyBike, which has a great speed and torque quality, has this huge beefy frame. Surprising that it's not more heavy. Also the fact that it actually takes up more space than some of the others, by just a little bit. Even though it's a completely different frame, huge bulky things, it doesn't take all that much extra space up. It's not all that much heavier. And number 4, your price versus your value. I'm gonna show you some bikes that are like 900 bucks and some that are 2,000. And I might be able to convince you to spend a little bit more based on some of the features and differences that I've mentioned already. All right, so first up is this Radpower, the Expand 5 Plus. Comes in around $1,800. It is very comfortable and stable. I'm going with this one up first just because of its solidness and reliability. If you're gonna spend some money on a bike, get something that has a warranty like this one does, and that is built just rock solid. The build quality is great. It has front adjustable hydraulic suspension, really beefy 4-inch wide knobby tires. Both of those mean it's a quite smooth ride. It's a little bit on the slightly heavier side of the frame, which actually makes it a little more stable when you're riding. It's got a step-through frame, full color display, grip throttle like a motorcycle. I love the BMX style handlebars on this. It's the only one out here like this that has this BMX style. I didn't think of it as a BMX style. I don't know if that's what they call it. but I love the look of it. Speaking of the look of it, I do love the colors, this one as well as the blue one that they have online. So there are some safety features on this one that I really like. It's an American company. It's got IPX6 water resistance all the way throughout, so your electronics are gonna work even in the rain or in a big heavy splash. It's got a UL certified Safe Shield battery, which features some thermal resistance around the cells of the battery so that if there's any sort of issues, nothing ends up escalating. It also has turn signals and hydraulic disc brakes. Now the hydraulic brakes, not all the bikes you see here are gonna have this. What I've been told is that these can be important on a folding bike because they require less maintenance over time when you're folding and pushing things together and throwing it into your car or into the closet or something like that. It's nice that you don't have to tune up the brakes every time, right? That's probably something you didn't think about. It's got solid accessories for the front and rear of the bike, which is nice. These things can be like cargo carriers, you know? You can, if your kid's not too big, you can fit them on the back. I don't think they recommend that on this Expand one. They have like kid carrier ones. Rad's bikes are great. They have a lot of good options. All right, next up is the Mod City Plus Step Through 3. This one comes in slightly more expensive, but when you use code MATTERFUL, it will get you $100 off of the price. That's MATTERFUL. With the discount, this thing comes in at about the same price as the bike you just saw. So use that code, and this gets you one of my favorite bikes because it has the highest quality peripherals, the quality of the grips, the buttons, the hydraulic brakes, the seat. The seat is so much nicer than your standard seat. It's cushy, it has some suspension built into the seat post. Also, the accessories here on the back. This thing clips on. You can see this back rack. This just slides right into there and then locks in. And look, this thing's amazing. It has these pannier bags. This top compartment, this whole main compartment is also expandable. It also has these killer little foot pads that you can get because there's a child seat that you can fit on the back. They can use this as little foot clicks. These accessories that they make are so much better than what else is out there. And it goes fast. Listen, my son and his freshman friends have been mobbing deep. I've been going ham with all of these bikes. They've tried everything out. They love just cruising around town with them. And they've settled in on 3 bikes that have the best top speed or the best acceleration or the ones that can hold the most people on them. This one has won for them in terms of one of the highest top speeds. It's one of the fastest bikes here. Now, it's not fast by that much, but when you're, you know, 115-pound freshman, that speed matters, bro. Also, this mod bike has one of the smallest footprints when folded down, partly because the frame is thinner and partly because the tires are not as wide as others in this list. I also love the riding ergonomics on this thing. It just feels really comfortable for a commuter especially. And again, the fact that it folds up the smallest of all of them basically and goes fast. But there's one thing, this throttle. I don't love the way that this feels, looks. I don't know if this has been updated. I know that they've updated the screen. Now they have a color screen on these things, which probably looks and feels a lot nicer, which also has a USB-C charging up here, so you can, you know, connect your phone basically to this battery and charge from there. But the throttle itself, not my favorite of all the throttles, but I do like that it goes so fast. Links below, support the channel. Okay, now coming in at anywhere from $700 to $1,100, depending on when you find it. The Jasion EB7 2.0. This thing is lightweight, one of the lightest weight bikes in here, and there's not a lot of specialness about this bike except for the price. Very affordable, very lightweight. The peripherals, the features, the speed, the torque, all of it is just so-so, right? It's solid. If price is your biggest concern, this is a great one to go with, honestly. It does have a rear suspension, which is pretty unique in this lineup. It has disc brakes, but they aren't hydraulic. It does have hookups for accessories and things like that. This is similar to our next bike, the Lectric XP 3.0. Very similar frame to the one you just saw. Comes in at about $1,200. Does have hydraulic disc brakes. Now, unique in this whole lineup is the way that this is actually welded onto the frame. And see this big frame right here? This is nice and beefy, and the fact that this is welded on is unique. Normally they're just kind of screwed in. You also have a pretty decent little seat here. It's cozy and cushy just from a basic seat point of view. It's elevated. This one as well, nice and light, okay, compared to all the others. You're gonna notice it, but if you got a heavier bike, you wouldn't be like, oh, like it's a pain in the ass to move these, to like crank them together and then move them into anything. Even these lightest ones, none of it's all that easy actually. We do have hydraulic brakes on this one, and I also kind of like this just feels really good to push these buttons. Super simple and cheap, but, and I think it won't break down super easily, but pretty solid for the price here. Even though it does not have a rear suspension going on, you do have suspension on the seat. I honestly haven't found that to matter too terribly much the way that I've been riding these. All right, now we've got the Aventon Cinch, okay? You see this like big, thick frame? I thought that it would mean it's a much heavier bike, and it is heavier than the Lectric, for example, but it's not, again, so heavy that it makes it super hard to move. They're all a little bit awkward to move once they're collapsed. As with other Aventon bikes, the thing you're gonna notice right off the bat is the quality of the, like, I don't know, the buttons, the charger, everything on these guys is custom. The battery that integrates into the frame, all of it just feels like it's made by a real company. Like it's not just using parts from places that exist elsewhere in the world and it's putting them all together. This feels custom and it feels designed. Aventon, if you care about something feeling like just a cut above, this is one of your options to go for. It's got a nice color LCD. It has an interesting torque sensor and some integrated lights that actually have a turn signal. Really custom looking, slimline, sleek back thing here, and the seat just feels solid. I like this seat. I liked everything about this bike when it first came. I did find myself not using it as much as some of the others because it's not quite as quick. And that's something I cared about when I was riding. Okay, this is the one we've had for the least amount of time, but has been the most promising. This is the Hovsco Hove Beta 20-inch foldable fat tire electric bike. It's another one of those thick frame guys, and it actually has super knobby tires. It also has hydraulic brakes as well as hydraulic front suspension, no suspension on the back of the frame. Again, with the beefy frame, but it's like just on the heavier side of things. It's not at all like weight prohibitive, but here's the thing that here's why we like this so much. It's fast. It has torque and it's fast. If this is what you care about the most, this is an option to go with. Of all of them here, maybe besides the next one, and I think even in comparison to the next one, this is the most torquey, fastest. Seat is not good on this one. You're just not gonna like this very much. You're gonna wanna get an aftermarket seat. Everything up top feels pretty good. You know, you just got a simple sort of screen, and these buttons all have a little bit of tackiness on them, so they're like a little bit like silicone-y, which is kind of nice. It's also kind of nice that the battery actually comes out of the frame without having to open up the bike. You just pull the key and then you can get this battery out, whereas on the electric bike you have to open it up to get the battery out, as well with this HeyBike, which is coming up next. Okay, this HeyBike Tyson is next, coming in around $1,500. Has one of the coolest frames out here that features both front suspension and rear suspension with this amazing little like hinging, you know, this thing looks like an actual motorcycle or something, and it behaves like one as well. It's got hydraulic disc brakes and a pretty robust, beefy back rack thing. But what I need to show you here is look at the tire, look how worn through these tires are, because this is one of the bikes that my son and his friends liked to use the most, because it was early on found to be one of the fastest, okay? and they completely wore out the tread on these tires. The tires aren't like the highest quality, but the way, like none of the other bikes have the tires worn down on them the way that this one does, because A, they were for sure riding somebody on the back of it, at least in the beginning they were, before I kind of scolded them for that. And B, they just took this one out the most because it had the fastest top speed. I do love these like leather handles and find this thing to be surprisingly kind of nice. You know, the throttle, again, not my favorite kind of throttle here, but really it's the look of the thing that's so great, you know? All right, that's all the bikes, all right? Here's the 3 of all of these that if I was picking, there's 3 different picks that I would pick for 3 different categories. The first one is the Radpower Expand. This is for your like American durability, warranty kind of, just go with something solid. Very solid bike from Radpower. Links below, support the channel. The next one is the Mod Bike City Step Through 3. They have one that's also not step through. I think it might even be a little bit lighter, but I think you're gonna spend a little bit more for this and you're gonna get a little bit more for it. Better top speed, better peripherals and buttons and things like that, with exception of the throttle, which is fine. I'm fine with the throttle. It's just everything else is great. This is one that I would probably personally choose. And then the Hovsco, the Hove Beta. Hove. This thing is just fastest and has the most torque and the beefiest tires. And if the bigger frame doesn't scare you away and the hard tailness of it doesn't scare you away, this is really fun to ride. So those are the 3 that I would recommend. I'll link to those below at the very end here. I have reviewed a few e-bikes before. I'm curious what your questions are about these. I'll be answering them in the comments below. Let me know. And if there's anything I can do to improve this kind of review in the future, don't hesitate to holler at me there. Please do use my links if you end up purchasing one of these, if this was helpful for you in any way. Some of these companies maybe have some discounts. I know for sure one of them does when you use my link or the coupon code below at no extra cost to you. So it just helps put food on the table for my family. Please feed my children. Other than that, be yourself. Enjoy riding these things. They're really fun. You know, the future is obviously like e-bikes. The future, besides the floating and hover car stuff, yeah, you know, it's e-bikes. They're great. They're really fun. And hopefully you find something here that'll help you get into some adventures. And get out of the house. Get off the frickin' phones. Bye.